Hello everyone, Gremlin Archer here, and welcome back to the second episode of The Floor is Lava. We're continuing our push for the magical artifact at the art museum that will save humanity. Alright, getting back into it. Moving back across the cafeteria, I had to clean out some of the zombies that had shown up overnight. I also took the opportunity to clean out the last bits of food that I'd left in the fridge. Back in the administration building, I cleared a few zombies that had greeted me at the top of the stairs, and then proceeded to attempt the first clearing of the bottom floor. I quickly discovered another small library in one corner of the first floor. Clearing my way to the other end of the building, I found an infirmary with some much-needed medical items inside, most notably of which was a supply of beta blockers to help with the panic I got outside due to my character's agoraphobia. In the last room of the infirmary, I could see a small horde outside the window in the rain, so being the kind-hearted man that I am, I invited them inside to dry off. That taken care of, I went back up the stairs into the room in the eastern corner of the building to begin the dismantling process and start building my next bridge. The first stop was a small house nearby that, as it turned out, was being used as offices. I was able to loot the upstairs without incident, but once I went downstairs, a group spotted me through the doorway. I tried to tell them that it was outside my office hours, but they insisted. Undergrads. With those zombies dealt with, I returned all the way back to the dorms for another night's sleep. I decided that this would be my final night in the dorms. If I had to sleep on the floor of the administration building, so be it. I couldn't deal with going back and forth anymore. Back in the administration building, I went back to dismantling and building. Occasionally, I would have to take breaks to deal with zombies who had found their way into the building, either because of my noise or just random zombie jiggling. Give me an L. Give me a S. I guess she's not gonna give me a U. I began building my new bridge east, away from the administration building to some row houses I could see across the street. So I was planning on walking across this way to this apartment complex and then heading to the north. But I've spotted this barbecue area over there with a door. So I think I'm gonna head that direction instead. So that seems better. I spent a rough night sleeping on a couch in the admin building, and then began my bridge north. As usual, this required frequent breaks to smash in some zombie heads before getting back to work. I think that officer's finally bringing me a pistol. Eventually I made it all the way across to the door. I checked inside to find an apartment. In order to keep it safe, I used a spare plank I had to barricade the door to the stairwell, and for good measure I ripped up the floor, leaving a hole to the area below. That handled, I returned to the admin building to collect my stuff and move into my swanky new apartment. Before calling it a night, I dismantled most of the wooden items in the house and used them to make a small bridge to the top of the diner next door. In the morning, I began my next bridge, north to the pizza world across the street. After running out of wood, I collected several empty bags and returned to the administration building to get the wood I needed. I discovered in the day or so since I had left, a fair number of zombies had arrived, and they had to be introduced to my sharp friend. Upon finally finishing my bridge to Pizza World, a zombie busted a window and set off an alarm in the building. Next morning, another trip back to the admin building for wood and zombie head smashing, then back to Pizza World and my new bridge across to what at the time I thought was an apartment complex. When I finally made it across, I discovered that it was in fact not an apartment at all, but an office building. Heading out in the hallways, I was surprised to see how sparsely populated it was there, until... God damn it. That's a few zombies. Actually gonna make it off this thing. So over here. Actually navigating it. Yikes. Zombies don't usually make it down the lines. They're smarter than the other zombies. Well, that was terrifying. Upon re-entering, I dealt with the remaining few zombies at hand. But I decided I needed to find the stairs in order to prevent the constant stream of street-level zombies coming up to harass me. I found the first set of stairs in the southeast corner of the building and ripped up the floor to stop the zombies. Pushing my way back up the hallway to the middle of the building, I spotted the elevators and knew there would be another set of stairs there. As I was ripping up the floor, the sound of zombies breaking doors was coming from nearby. But with luck, I was able to remove the floor before the zombies made it into the stairs. Worried there might be a third set of stairs, I rushed to the far end of the hallway, but it turned out to just be a bathroom. But just because the first floor was cut off didn't mean I was safe. I proceeded to clear the second and third floors. On the next morning, while I was taking apart desks for raw materials, I managed to hit level 10 carpentry. Go me. Afterwards, it was just a matter of dismantling and bridge building. For a long time. I decided it would be a good idea to set up the occasional island along the bridges, where I wouldn't have as much to worry about in terms of falling off. Approaching the next office building, I was greeted by a group of zombies, bursting their way out the window almost immediately. Several of them even made it all the way back to my island before being finished off. Falling back from the offices, I started building towards the apartments I could see in the next block. I didn't want to get in them just yet, but I was trying to activate the zombies that would be inside in case they hadn't been spawned yet. At some point during my recordings, I started using the mouse walk to command in order to move on the bridges. The character seemed to navigate better than when I did it by hand, and it removed a lot of the stress I was feeling about potentially falling off. In order to clear this next building, I decided to employ a little bit of a cheese. Here is how the cheese works. You need 2 cubicle walls, or you could do it with half walls, but cubicle walls are a little bit sturdier. Place them like so. And now zombies, they come over the one wall, and they do the you get over both of them. The zombies will come over one wall, they'll do the lunge attack, but they can't hit you because you're on the other side of a wall. And then you can smash them. Like this. For example. Gotta watch for your character to look down. Smash. Look down. Smash. Smash. Like I said, bit of a cheese, but it works. I spent most of the rest of the day smashing zombies. In the morning... Oh, lost our mohawk. I'm just a hairy man. From mohawked to long-haired. We can find some hair stuff. Maybe re-mohawk later. I returned to the building, and it seemed like it was fairly quiet. I decided it would be a good idea to see if I could find and remove the stairs in this building. I did in fact manage to find the stairs, but I couldn't get the holes punched in the floor before the new zombies came to interrupt my work. Oh God.
Oh God. Oh God.
I managed to escape back out the window I came through, and then due to the large number of zombies in the building, the never-ending smashing began. Unless you think there is a perfect cheese, there were a few times when I got overwhelmed and had to fall back from the zombies. The number of zombies in the nook between the walls eventually got to be so high that my character started to experience corpse sickness and I had to fall back to get some fresh air. Because not all of the zombies made it to the smashing pit, and instead fell off the side of my bridge, the number of zombies below me was starting to get quite high. I attempted to use the sound of the gun to lead them away, but it doesn't seem to have worked the way I wanted it to. I have to say that this challenge continues to surprise me. I wanted to get all the way through to the art museum in this episode, but it's turning out to be more difficult than I expected. To give you some perspective, this episode is over 5 hours of footage to make it through 2-ish buildings. But I hope you're enjoying the series nonetheless, which will be a bit longer than expected. I am, as always, the Crumulent Archer. Thank you so much for joining me. And hey, you made it to the end of the video. Hit the like button and maybe subscribe.